Our penultimate fixture of match day 4 here at the TUI Soccer World Championship in Cancun takes us to Group E. England and Costa Rica do battle in what promises to be an intriguing encounter. My name's Frankie Rudland and I'll be guiding you through all the action. But before a ball is kicked, first we'll have the national anthems. Here we go then, our penultimate fixture of match day 4. Romania's win over Chile earlier today means a win for Costa Rica would be enough to see them through to the knockouts. They already have 3 points in the bank thanks to an opening day victory over the Chileans. As for England, they're hoping to pick themselves up and dust themselves off after conceding 7 to Romania yesterday without reply. They've endured no end of troubles getting to Cancun and even fielding a team. Unburdened by the weight of expectations, it's now about enjoying these moments, representing England and trying, despite the adversity, to get some points on the board. Joining me for this one, Rob Burke. Rob, first of all, a well-deserved breather after the last match we saw, and second of all, what's your assessment of England, who we watched yesterday, conceded 7 to Romania, but not as bad as we might have thought, given the original lineup?
Well, look, I've been doing soccer commentaries for a long old time, but this game has got a lot to live up to because it has been a phenomenal evening of soccer action. Game after game, it's had absolutely everything, and I'm just buzzing. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for the final game of the day. As for England, I think there were promising signs in their game. Look, it didn't start great, and you mentioned the adversity they had in the build-up, but second half much better. As I said, they've got elements of a really good soccer side. If they can string it together, look, they're still going to have issues with lasting the full game. There's no disputing it's a small squad, but I'm excited to see what they've got.
A reminder that a loss here for England tonight would effectively end their tournament, really, before you feel it's even started. A win for Costa Rica would secure them qualification to the knockouts. So a massive game for them. And off we go. England get us underway in this second to last fixture before a fantastic evening of soccer, you have to say, comes to a close. And early touches for Mariam Neri, who was the target man for England against Romania. A thankless task for him, up against an experienced side. An early chance for England. Engine it was, running in, and the keeper is charged well outside his penalty area there. That an obvious a call for the referee.
You don't need a video replay to see that one was outside the area. Positive start from England. Again, the target man, a real shining light for them. You mentioned a thankless task. He made the most of it. Looked dangerous at times.
England with the set piece, dangerous possession. Plenty of men fill the box. Mariam Neri, the one to keep your eyes on. Brief pause before it's taken. Chilean, Costa Ricans pause to the edge, and it's in. England, against all the odds, have the opener, and it's Marius John who slides one through a sea of bodies and into the back of the net, and that was not in the script.
A superb finish. They sold them a dummy there. Player arriving. A wonderful finish. England lead. You love a team with an idea at a set piece, a bit of a plan, and that plan was executed perfectly there.
You talk about underdogs. In the wider football sphere, you wouldn't necessarily say England would be the underdogs against Costa Rica. But given the background of what they've had to go through to make it here, the 6 players who didn't even make it here, it's a quite incredible start from England. And they find themselves a goal to the good. Down, but by no means out. And worth pointing out that that goal means we still are yet to see a 0-0 at this TUI Soccer World Championship, and we're approaching the end of day 4.
Well, it's been a brilliant evening, but it's been a brilliant tournament overall. Every team just bringing excitement, drama. We've seen some new sides, we've seen some experienced sides. We've seen it all.
And what we haven't seen yet, and what we haven't seen in a long time, in fact, is an England win at a major tournament. They didn't manage one for the entirety of the group stage last year in Oman. That's another flashing effort into the side netting. Marius John, the man again who set his sights. England showing intent. Costa Rica perhaps may have thought they were in for an easy night's work. England have other ideas, and here's Michael Jimenez. Cuts onto the left boot, drives one, and it's squirmed past Dennis Carvajal. He looked to poke a toe towards it. In fact, it was Kevin Garcia attempting to redirect it past Vasil Nail. He made a string of crucial saves to keep the scoreline semi-respectable against Romania. It's a tough morning for England, up against one of soccer's best and most experienced nations. Just 6 players to pick from, no coach, no real hope.
Yeah, look, it was desperate scenes in the first game. It was a boiling hot day. They were sat over on the far side of the arena in the shade at half-time just thinking what on earth we could do. No coach to really lift them. They lifted themselves, though. That was the impressive part. The performance in the second half of that first game, far, far better, and they've started this game better again.
We talked about in the build-up, it's now for them just playing for pride, and they are unburdened by pressure. No one expects anything of them. And they've enjoyed these opening 4.5 minutes or so. Carlos Jara scored the opener versus Chile. Michael Jimenez. Kevin Garcia, who seems to be clutching his hamstring every time he gets on the ball. which isn't a great sign for Costa Rica.
Fortunately for Costa Rica, they do have the replacements. Be far more worried if you were England. A couple of times players went down, clutching their limbs, and you just think, well, you're going to have to play on, mate.
England just hogging the ball at the back, probably wanting to conserve some energy. As you just mentioned, they have virtually no substitutes at their disposal. I think there's one on the bench for them tonight, and that keeper will nail one towards goal.
But he put his boot through it, never really on target. Had it hit the target, I wouldn't want my wrist to be the one saving it.
Well, Costa Rica didn't start particularly quickly against Chile. They grew into the game. They'd be hoping to grow into this one. First snapshot from them. Hits a white shirt. Nailed into Adrian Adri, who scored the late consolation in the dying moments for England against Romania. Tapping home at the back post to ensure they had something to come away from the game with.
It's the little thing, scoring for England. It's an achievement, regardless of whether it's a consolation or not, and that'll build a bit of momentum, just taking positives from the game. That's what they needed to do, and it appears they have done.
It's a bit of pride, isn't it?
It does help having a couple of substitutes available to you as well. You can exert a bit more energy knowing that if you are puffing just that little bit, you can have a rest for 2 or 3 minutes. I think that's what they struggled with. They didn't want to overcommit. They didn't want to be tracking up and down the field. They had to pick their moments, and in the end, it was just too much. But today, there's a few white jerseys on the bench ready to come on and make an impact. They've made a sub already.
Nailed with the ball at his feet. Chips into the right-hand touchline. And, well, we talked about not being able to afford an injury, and Raul Laz has gone down to the turf in some discomfort. Looked fairly innocuous, just took the ball down on his chest. He has got strapping around that right knee, and that's what he's clutching. And it's the fear, it's the worry, isn't it? When you've got such a threadbare squad, you will have players who essentially have to play through knocks, they have to play through injuries, and he's going to have to make way as Raul Laz, who looks in serious discomfort, and he'll be replaced by Castillo.
Well, they battled through the last game, and I was going to say lucky to escape with no injuries, but I think they might have been carrying a few knocks going into this one. Fortunately, there are substitutes available, as we say.
Well, judging by the strapping on his right knee, that seemed to be the case, didn't it? Perhaps already tender, and after 8 minutes he's forced off. Here is Castillo, the substitute.
This is a situation we've not seen England in yet, where they've got a lead. They'll have to decide whether they want to protect it, go hunting for more. Again, they're not going to want to exert themselves because, yes, they have a bench. It's not a big one. Certainly isn't an experienced one in major tournaments.
It's been a relatively low-key start. Perhaps that's just because of what we've witnessed this evening. That's a firm effort from Steven Jimenez, who added the second against Chile. Smashed one towards that near-hand post, and Nail was equal to it. Again, Costa Rica fire from distance, and again, the white shirt's in front of it.
Yeah, Costa Rica growing into the game for England. There's not too many teams who can make 2 substitutions and all of a sudden...
Off the post. 2 flashed efforts. Nail gets behind the first one, and the second one just slides onto the base of the post. England survive for now, and they'll break. They've got a man over at the back post, and it's Adrian Adri looking for his second of the tournament. Having almost been peg level, but for the post, England could have found themselves 2-0 up. They still might. Ball works into the area, back-heeled goalwards. Deflection takes the sting out of the effort.
It was a glorious ball to create the opportunity there, and had it been matched with a finish, you'd have been looking at a real goal of the tournament contender there.
Well, for the players England do have, there's some talent in the group. A limited group, albeit, but there's some talent there.
And absolutely, I was saying before, there's not many teams that can make 2 substitutions and all of a sudden a third of the players on the field are debutants. And between the other 4, they're making their second appearances.
Castillo does well to draw the foul. And Marius John, who opened the scoring, stands over it. Marian Mary in the box, he goes for it, and it's a stunner! 2 goals of the highest order from Marius John, who's bent one into the top corner from almost the halfway line. England in dreamland, Costa Rica stunned.
It's a thunderbolt from England. Keeper no chance, he could have dove last Thursday and he wouldn't have got there. In the back of the net before he hit the ground. 2-0 England.
Whoever wrote the script for this one, it's been ripped up. Costa Rica, they needed 3 points and they would have secured qualification. England, well, they looked like sitting ducks for the taking before this one. All the factors pointed towards Costa Rican dominance. But a resolute England side have themselves 2 goals to the good, courtesy of Marius John, the second of which an absolute belter.
Look, having done the flight that these boys would have had to have done from the UK to get here and play, I'm still not ready to kick a ball. These guys had to do it with all the issues on top of just the travel, stress alone. But they're wide awake now, and they're playing some pretty decent soccer.
Clipped into the channel and a really nice touch to bring it down from John, who's on a brace. And after 12 minutes, he finds himself hunting a hat-trick, and you have to say, both goals, phenomenal strikes. The first one, lesser of the 2, but still a really nice effort, driven low into the bottom left corner. But the second, wow, we were right behind the flight of that ball, weren't we? Floated into the top corner.
But regardless of how England go in the tournament, they'll have that on repeat for a long, long time to come.
And it is worth pointing out as well, we've talked about Costa Rica's chance of qualification. Well, if England win here tonight, they've got Chile in their final game. And they themselves might have a chance to go through to the knockouts.
There's always time in soccer. Step 1 is start playing some decent stuff. England have done that, or at least they're doing that. Here we go.
Here comes Nail, and that's an excellent ball to the back post. Well, we questioned Nail's distribution against Romania, but it was perfect there. And but for the foot of Jefferson Chavez, England might have been 3 up.
Look, it wasn't the easiest of chances, but if you tuck that home there and go 3 goals up after 13 minutes, it's a dream start.
Adri stands over the corner, into the box, and it is 3. Marian Mary gets the goal he so thusly deserves. England flying. They've had to beg, steal and borrow to get here. But wow, they've arrived.
Well, he's worked tirelessly for the team with not a lot to show for it so far. All of a sudden, England in control, in the lead, and in with a chance of making it to the next stage of the competition. You can't write it. I'm pretty sure nobody would have before this game.
Well, the odds would have been long on England picking up any points, let alone 3. But they find themselves 3-0 up and 3 goals of real good quality. A big, big mountain to climb for Costa Rica. The Central Americans stunned by this early flurry. Here's Michael Jimenez charged down, and England could break again. Marius John, whose technique has been flawless so far tonight, couldn't quite get the lofted ball through to Marion Mary. Jimenez seen plenty of the ball this evening. Played down the touchline and a neat interception from Adrian Adri. Castillo dancing his way around the centre circle. England looking composed. Comfortable in the uncomfortable circumstances they found themselves in. Nail, lofts long, it's a nice idea. But Engine just couldn't get there.
Look, we've been whipped up in the story that England are delivering here, but Costa Rica will have ambitions of their own, and all of their plans will have gone right out the window. You can't take anyone for granted in soccer, and I doubt they've taken England for granted. Very professional side, Costa Rica, but right now, something needs to change because they are passengers in this game.
It has to happen quickly. 4 minutes until the interval. And it would be a very strong position for England to hold. Going in 3 goals to the good at the break. And it's worth mentioning, of course, to build on your point, Rob, Costa Rica would have to play Romania in their last game, which isn't a favourable fixture for anyone. There's a couple of shots come in, the latter of which from Stephen Jimenez. England stand tall.
If you have to face one of the two, I'd rather England's draw.
You would expect that Romania would top this group. The second spot in the minute is wide open. Costa Rica jink forward. Michael Jimenez, let's fly. Better from Costa Rica and better from Jimenez, who sets his sights. Not far off, and he's earned a corner. Nail with a smart save, chance here. Just couldn't sort his footing out, Luis Picado. Marion Mary draws the foul. Well, passenger's the right word to describe Costa Rica so far. Not at the races.
No, not at the races at all. I think the only thing really here stopping England is keeping a full contingent on the pitch. We've seen one injury already. Their downfall could be just not having enough players to continue. Fortunately, everybody's on their feet.
And they're currently locked in discussion with our officials. Clearly something needs explaining. We're waiting for something.
There's questions being asked by the Costa Rican. The England players look a little bit happier. Not too sure.
Well, it seemed as if it was going to be a free kick England's way after Marion Mary fell to the turf. But there's clearly something that needs some clarification. And while we wait, we'll just take a nod to our next match. The final one of the evening. Oman take on Canada in Group C. Canada, of course, thumped 10 past Haiti. And Oman, perhaps surprisingly, slipped to a 1-0 defeat to Bulgaria, the reigning world champions. And the referee will now come across to check something, presumably the VAR monitor. We need to benefit from the replay to see exactly what.
It's a penalty.
It's a penalty. VAR is being consulted. And try to glean more information as the break as to what exactly that was given for, whether it's a handball, a slide in the box. There were England players throwing themselves in the way of 2 efforts from Costa Rica, but Michael Jimenez has the chance to give his side a lifeline just on the stroke of half-time. Vasil Nail with a big moment. He made some crucial saves against Romania, and he'll have to make another one here. Here comes Michael Jimenez. Stands up Vasil Nail and reverses the ball really smartly towards that top right-hand corner. A confident Socca penalty. No second thought in his mind. And Costa Rica are back in it.
The lifeline is the word. That's exactly what it is. 3-1 just before the break. There won't be too long to go. The clock is in the red, but we had a bit of a wait while that penalty was awarded. The game is not done. There's plenty of time to go, as France showed us earlier this evening against the Netherlands.
And the Netherlands held a 4-goal lead. And that was reduced to 1 by the end of the match. 3-0, not a safe scoreline. As Carlos Hada tries a speculative one from the halfway line.
The clear message between the England players at the moment is calm it down. I tend to agree with them. That's an English ball.
Well, we're a minute and a half over the allotted 20, but of course there was a lengthy VAR check for that Socca penalty. And we've seen a brilliant effort, or 2 brilliant efforts I should say, from Marius John. And that was not one of them. Into the VIP section.
Landed in somebody's dinner.
Can Costa Rica find another before the break? Michael Jimenez. Half-time whistle blows, 3-1 the score. Well, the headline in this match really is that England charged to a 3-0 lead. Then on the stroke of half-time, a Socca penalty was awarded, and Michael Jimenez dispatched with aplomb. Still life in this one, still life in Costa Rica. Stick with us. We'll bring you all the action from the second half very shortly. Welcome back then to our penultimate fixture of match day 4. And we've been served up a slight surprise in these opening 20 minutes. England going 3 goals up, 2 from Marius John II, an absolute beauty. Before Marius Merli got his name on the score sheet, Costa Rica got a goal back just before the break, courtesy of Michael Jimenez. Soccer penalty awarded after Vasil Nail caught someone in the box on the follow through from a challenge. Plenty of work to do for Costa Rica, and equally work to do for England to safeguard this 2-goal lead, and Costa Rica do the early probing as they work it across the face of the box. Carlos Jara.
I think slight surprise is an understatement regardless of the talent of the team under the circumstances that this England side have faced. They're doing superbly well. Even the very best would have struggled in these conditions. And they're delivering a bit of a masterclass. Long way to go.
Adrian Agee back to Marius John, who's searching for his hat-trick. The knee of Jefferson Chavez denies him. Another good move from England. John, again he strikes. Blocked this time, and it's Castillo.
We mentioned this England side showed signs of a pretty good soccer team in their opening game, although they were limited by how much they could do, given the fact they only had 6 players. The substitutes have just given them that little bit of opportunity to exert some more energy, because they know they don't necessarily have to last a full game.
And that's a good running down the right-hand touchline from AJ, who gets absolutely clattered off the ball. England camp aren't happy, and they will stop it for a head injury. Carlos Jara absolutely swept Adria away on the follow-through from that challenge. And he's feeling the full force of it.
It's been a little bit stop-start, especially with that penalty decision, a couple of free kicks here and there. That'll suit England. They are the side with the smaller squad. The longer they can have to rest, the better. Costa Rica need to ramp it up, get that intensity, and just wear England out.
Well, you're right, every time the whistle blows, those England players get the chance to have a few valuable gulps of air. The temperature's dropped, but it's by no means chilly here in Cancun. Jara shapes to shoot. Costa Rica want to jink their way through. They ask for a handball, they get one. Free kick. A reminder that in this group, Romania beat Chile 2-0 earlier on. As the form book suggested, that Romanians currently cantering towards the knockouts. Chance on the set piece then for Costa Rica. Worked over to Stephen Jimenez. Blocked by the calves of Castillo. There is a fragmented pace to this one. We've been spoilt rotten with some of the soccer we've seen this evening. Some memorable matches. Plenty of drama. Michael Jimenez, the scorer of the soccer penalty. Goes on the angle, and there's a man down in the box. It's Brian Granados, who thinks he's taken an elbow to the back of the head. Vasil Nail has his hands up, pleading his innocence, but he'll be checked. Another VAR break, and potentially another soccer penalty for Costa Rica.
It'd be a shame if it's ill discipline that costs England. They've looked good defensively in open play. We did have confirmation actually of why the penalty was awarded in the first half.
Yeah, it was Vasil Nail on the follow through from a challenge, deemed to have caught Costa Rican on the ankle. Granados still clutching the back of his head. gesturing to the referee that he took a double-handed punch to the back of it. There's nailed cleared. The VAR tent, of course, for this tournament, situated separate to the stadium, just in a tent. Gives the officials the space and peace to make their decisions without any outside influence. No penalty, much to England's delight. Costa Rica settle for the kick-in. Sanchez back to Michael Jimenez. Hara. Paid close attention by Adrian Adri, who does well to win the kick-in and set Marius John away. He's crowded out. They'll have to work really hard, this England side. They do have 2 substitutes, but one of them is the injured Raul Laz. Costa Rica looking to work it to the byline. Blocked again by an England shirt. Stuck well to their defensive duties. Sanchez lets one fly. They're favouring the shot from distance, are the Costa Ricans, and England have another man down on the turf. And this is not good news. Castillo's just come off. But if I were him, I wouldn't put the bib on too quickly because he might have to come back on. We're back to our feet.
They're battlers, this England side, but they do make you nervy when a player goes down. You just think, oh dear, they can't afford that.
Mary gets his head in the mix. Adrian challenges. Seven minutes played in the second half. And do you feel, Rob, that for all Costa Rica's industry, they're wasting these opportunities by just smashing hopeful efforts from range? They need to get in and around those posts because England at the minute are happy to just chuck bodies in the way.
Yep, of course. And to be fair, England have got bodies in the way, but what's behind that defensive line is a goalkeeper who really shone in the opening game, and he's a big reason why England's second half was that much better than the first. And so it isn't going to be easy for Costa Rica.
Well, it sounds bizarre to praise a keeper who conceded 7 goals, but if he wasn't between the sticks, it would have been much worse, and that's a fine effort from Marian Neri. He's got one tonight, looking for his second. He was another one who drew our praise in the match against Romania. Hustled and harried tirelessly up front. Well, that looked to me like a slide tackle. And the officials agree. Marius John it was, just too eager to get in the block. And the other point on discipline is they can ill afford a yellow card, England. Another chance from a set piece for Costa Rica. 3 men currently stood over it. You'd fancy Stephen Jimenez to take it. He's relinquished duties to Granados. Shoots, scores. Costa Rica well and truly back in it. A win would take them through. Still with plenty of work to do, but they're chipping away at England's advantage. And there'll be nervy moments for this depleted England side now.
Are we just seeing perhaps the fatigue creeping in? A couple of disciplinary errors from England. A penalty in the first half. A few nervy moments as well while things are reviewed. It'll be such a shame from an English point of view.
And again, as you say, that free kick, that set piece, comes from a Marius John sliding challenge. It's Granados who just curled it towards that back post.
One thing you can say is Costa Rica haven't panicked at all. They've stuck to their structure, they've stuck to their ideas, and they're chipping away at it. As you say.
Well, tired legs, tired minds for England. They don't bode well with pressure, and they're under it now. Flying at 3-0 up, nervous at 3-2. It's John who draws a save from Jefferson Chavez, and he's claiming a handball in there somewhere. Ten minutes to go. Plenty of time for Costa Rica to realise their ambitions.
I think that would have been one of the messages, just stay in the game, because England's squad is thin. And 40 minutes of soccer is very testing.
You're starting to see now that Basil Nail is resulting to rather hopeless long balls. These players, they just don't have the legs to charge forward as they did in those opening exchanges. And they'll be grateful every time the ball goes dead.
As we said, though, even the very best struggle with limited numbers. We've seen it with Brazil, similar travel issues.
Adri, slightly baggy touch, but shows good footwork. Hits the pressure release button for England.
Well, there was a needless foul from a Costa Rican point of view. The ball had already been won. The English player was off balance and probably would have fallen over, or at least lost the ball regardless of the contact.
Adri won it, and Adri's going to take it. It's got Maris John lurking at the far corner of your picture, and it's a stunning effort from Marian Mary. And just when England looked like they were fading, a beauty from Mary curls into the top right-hand corner, deceives the keeper. And there's daylight between the two sides once again.
Tired legs. What tired legs. There's plenty of fuel in the tank. 4-2, 8 minutes to go. They'll believe again now, England. It looked as though their heads were dropping, fatigue was creeping in, and that's why you've got to take advantage of your set-piece opportunities.
And a moment like that injects that burst of energy, doesn't it?
Absolutely it does. They'll believe again.
Adri looking to trick his way down the touchline. Costa Rica snuff it out. Here comes Granados.
On the other hand, of course, it does inject a little bit more urgency from the opposition. But they've got some work to do now.
Expect the game to stretch in these final 7 minutes. Costa Rica need at least 2 goals for a draw, and another on top of that to secure qualification to the knockouts. They'll be disappointed with how this match has gone so far, given the opportunity in front of them. Hara. Wild, wasteful, and out for an England goal kick. Nail lobs forward once more. Met by a Costa Rican head, but picked up in the middle by England. Marius John. Adri again, loose touch. And Jimenez should be able to see that one into touch. He does. And Adri will get a talking to for a little bit of gamesmanship, standing in front of the kick-in so it couldn't be taken. Adri battling again. Industrious performance from him so far this evening, and again that's a slide tackle from Marian Mary, who needs to be careful. They've been warned already about sliding, have England. Another set piece to contend with. Jimenez stands over it, fires it straight into the sizable frame of Marian Meri. One of two men on braces alongside Marius John. Jimenez looks to slip it through the letterbox. Doesn't quite get there, and Adri could be in. Can England add a fifth? Saved excellently from Jefferson Chavez. Adri just slipped as he went to pull the trigger. And it's a sprawling stop from the Costa Rican keeper. Have to applaud the work rate of Adrian Adri. Never stopped running against Romania. Scored a goal right at the death. And he deserves a goal for his performance tonight. Jimenez with a loose touch, a wild swing from Marius John. Clips half away. 4 minutes left for Costa Rica to find something. An England win would blow this group wide open. Jimenez slips, manages to poke it towards Sanchez.
Well, it has to be said, England relatively comfortable now. Costa Rica, they're not testing the goalkeeper at all. There's been brilliant defending from the outfield players. They look comfortable.
Neat looking ball to the back post. Read well by Adri.
And that was a little bit lazy. We are reaching anywhere will do territory now for England.
Adri gets his feet in a tangle. Costa Rica pinch it back. Not match the levels that they hit against Chile. Jimenez will let one fly, and again he goes from distance. England will be happy to just stand in front of them for the remaining few minutes. Hara forced to move up the touchline to take this one again. He's arguing with the referee, but really he needs to, well, I say get on with it. It's been overturned. Much to the delight of England. Booted forward. This one really slipping away from Costa Rica.
The time's ticking away, but we've seen a few games tonight with teams on the chase, thinking about France looking to make a comeback, Germany searching for a goal. Big difference is that they look dangerous. They were getting shots on goal, shots on target. Costa Rica just aren't doing that.
And you wonder, at some point, might they sacrifice their keeper, Jefferson Chavez, and fully roll the dice? Because as we mentioned earlier, they've got Romania in their final game, England, Chile. I know who I'd rather play. Chavez wants to launch one forward. Adri underneath it. Picked up by Marian Meri, who'll rattle one towards goal, and he wasn't far away.
Really knows how to hit them, doesn't he?
Costa Rica, chance to drive one in. Nail stands firm, uses his knee and then his palms to beat it away. Lazy clearance, spins away for a Costa Rican corner. There's some tired legs out there now. Just 1 minute for England to hold firm.
That big red double-decker bus is very firmly parked in front of that England goal.
The number 12 is not moving. The good old English handbrake, firmly in position. Chance there for Granados. It was fired across at him. He got a left boot to it, but did more to clear it than he did divert it goalwards. Nail, unsurprisingly, goes long. And Marian Meri, well, we saw him attempt an overhead kick against Romania, didn't we? And he's clearly got that in the locker.
Very acrobatic for the big man. He'll be delighted with his performance. He put a shift in the opening game and really showed us glimpses of what he's capable of, and we've seen it come to fruition tonight.
Jimenez will let fly once more. Nail always happy that that was going past his post. We're at the end of the 40 minutes. Nail boots over the crossbar.
They've just not tested the goalkeeper enough tonight, Costa Rica, and they'll know it as well. They've had plenty of possession.
You felt when Granados scored the goal to make it 3-2, they might have more of a go, but they've never really built on it. But in credit to England, they've worked ever so hard, and they could put the gloss on this. Smothered quickly by Costa Rica. Must be just seconds left now. We're almost a minute over the 40. Costa Rica, one more free kick, one more roll of the dice, but there won't be time. There goes the final whistle. England cheers. Depleted, bruised, battered, cobbled together, but spirited. They led 3-0, pegged back to 3-2, but they dug deep into the considerable pit of spirit that they possess, and they pulled off a quite remarkable 4-2 victory to blow Group E wide open. Chile await for them, and a genuine chance to qualify for the knockouts. Who thought we'd be saying that? Well, for Costa Rica, it starts to look ominous. They face Romania, and the win they needed to see them through to the next round will not come easy. Drama here on match day 4. An evening filled with surprises, and it just keeps giving. And we've got one more game for you. As reigning world champions, Oman look to bounce back from their opening game defeat. They play Canada, who are riding high after a 10-1 win against Haiti. Stick with us. We'll be bringing you all the coverage from that one up shortly.